Three-year-old trotting colts on the track for the 128th Kentucky Futurity worth $444,000. Sponsored by the Hunterton Farm, Stoner Manor Incorporated, and Midhammer Terry. One Amigo Volo, Nifty Norman Trains, Dexter Dunn drives, the Penske Stables, and David Miller. Number 2 is King Alfonso, Ocas Fonstead Trains, and he co-owns with Bender Sweden, Little E LLC, and Douglas Sipple, Tim Tiedrich. 3 is EL Ideal, Ocas Fonstead Trains, Andy Miller drives for EMP Investoy. 4 is Back of the Deck, Ocas Fonstead Trains, got 0 out of the bank for Howard and Judith Taylor, the order by stable. 5 is Third Shift, Ocas Fonstead Trains, and he co-owns with Melby Guard Incorporated, Joe Bongiorno. Number 6, Gangster Hanover, Ocas Fonstead Trains drives, and he co-owns with the SRF stable, the Brittany Farms. 7 is Chestnut Hill, Nifty Norman Trains, Dave Miller in the bank for Melvin Hartman, Dave McDuffie, and Jeff Carell's Little E LLC. The 8 is Jula Tricks Treasure, Ocas Fonstead Trains, Brett Miller drives for Jula Racing Incorporated. 9 is Patriarch Hanover, Ron Burke Trains for the Burke Racing Stable, William Spatala, James Martin, Weaver Bruce Shibby with Matt Kikadley. Number 10 is Beads, Perry Ingblom Trains for Renee Spar, Brian Sears. Starting from the second tier, the 11, Ready for Money, Nancy Tactor Trains for John Fielding, the Lindy Farms of Connecticut, Herb Liverman and Bud Hatfield, Yannick Jingra drives. The 12 is Coventry Hall, Ocas Fonstead Trains, Andy McCarthy up for Inge Volgard Alborg. That's the field for the 9th race. 2 in the second tier, numbers 11 and 12. No changes here as we get set for the signature event of the season in Lexington, the 128th Kentucky Futurity.
2 weeks of Grand Circuit racing, Gabe, and it comes down to this, the big event here, the 128th edition of the Kentucky Futurity, a big, bulky field of 12 colts and geldings. But first, your reaction to Love a Good Story, and I want to give you full credit. You tried to tell the folks to toss her onto their tickets, and that was a great call, my friend.
Yeah, well, it's just the typical replay rollback type race there. As Andy said, he didn't want to be first up last week. Unfortunately, he had to take all the worst of it, but she finished up fresh there. She fired home a good second last week, and it really paid off today. Unfortunately, we saw Ramona Hill there make a break. Sorrento was used very hard, so things really set up there with all that early action for a closer. And Love a Good Story, she stepped up and delivered with a very nice closing kick.
She did. Good story for New York, too, the New York Sire Stakes, that excellent program that she came out of. Congratulations to the connections, Andy and Julie Miller, and the various stables. She was bred by the Celebrity Farms, so congrats to them as well. So we focus our attention on the big one now, the Kentucky Futurity, a race that started back in 1893, Gabe. And believe it or not, they actually went 5 heats that day for a purse of $11,900. Oh, how far this race has come in stature and significance. The purse today, $444,000, so the fours are a little bit wild. Let's begin our discussion with number 1, Amigo Volo, who figures to at least be part of the early pace battle. And you see who co-owns this one, the Penske Stables. They were just in the winner's circle for the Philly Futurity.
Yeah, talk about what could be a huge day. It's already been a huge day for the Penske Stables, but they would love to get a good piece of the signature event here as well, the Kentucky Futurity. Any check, in fact, for Amigo Volo, Dave, would put him over the $1 million mark. Amigo Volo, very talented gelding. We know he likes this track. He was very good here last week and a runner-up effort behind Back of the Deck. And last year, a very good here as a 2-year-old as well.
Yes, he did win here, and he won, I believe, in record fashion. Andy Miller is going to look to make it back-to-back here in the featured events of the Grand Circuit meet. He will sit behind EL Ideal. He has driven this colt for Ocas Fonstead in 2 straight good bull speed efforts. I asked Andy on the way out of the winner's circle, I said, can you double up? He says, well, this is a different kind of horse, so you know what his game plan is.
Yeah, I think it's going to be much different than his game plan of the Philly Futurity, because I think he will go blasting off the wings here. Andy likes that style, and he's got one here that can spread out. EL Ideal just missed last week. He's been consistently close all season long, Dave. He's been very consistent throughout his career. He's just missed the board 2 times. In 17 career starts, so EL Ideal, I'd like for him to be part of this pace scenario. The question is, what type of pace scenario is it going to be? If it gets a bit wild there like that Philly Futurity, Could things set up for a closer, or will we see a much more reasonable pace here in the Futurity?
The Svanstad stable won this race 2 years ago with six-pack and an epic performance here. And credit to Team Svanstad, they have 7 of the 12 here in the Kentucky Futurity. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before.
I don't think anyone's ever seen anything like that before because I'm not sure it's ever happened. So that's a remarkable feat. And as you said, congratulations goes out to the Svanstad stable. Dave, in the same matter, Love a Good Story was coming into that race fresh. Again, she was raced just on the end of it last week there after taking a bad shuffle. I think we've got a similar story here for Back of the Deck. He comes out of that race very fresh. What an easy win. That was like just a tightener last week. Now, keep in mind, he had been off since August 21st, so he needed the start. He left, had a picture-perfect trip, could not have drawn it up any better, and he won under a full stranglehold late, 25 and change there home. I thought that was a very good way to arrive into a big day for Back of the Deck.
And in the post-race interview, I asked driver Scott Zeron, I said, is he as good now as he was going into the Hamiltonian? He looked me square in the eye, and he said, he's better. So that's my kind of confidence. That's why I made him my top selection. One other big Svanstad horse with a chance here. I thought Gangster Hanover bounced back with a huge improved effort last week. Maybe today could be his day.
I loved the Gangster last week, Dave. He is really a horse for the course, and he did very well here last year. He fired back with one of his better efforts when we saw him here last week, but that was maybe one of the softer divisions of the Bluegrass last week. Don't want to discount the win, but the Gangster is up here against some of the very top 3-year-old colts in the country, so he will have to step his game up, but that was a very good step back in the right direction.
All right, have to talk about the current second choice. He was the morning line favorite. That is Ready for Money. He will start in the second tier behind number 1, Amigo Volo. Yannick Gingras didn't seem to be concerned about that post. I'm hoping this guy bounces back because he's been a great colt all season.
Yes, he has. He's a brilliant set of ready cash, $857,000 at the bank. Was going to win that Canadian trotting Classic. Just unfortunate break in stride there in deep stretch. My concern is the same as your concern, Dave. That second tier post for any trotter. I don't particularly enjoy it. But Yannick Gingras has been oozing with confidence, I would say, is the best way to put it every time you've caught up with him this week. So you and I might be a little concerned, but I know there is not much concern, at least publicly, from Yannick when you've caught up with him.
Well, I have a lot more faith in his opinion than I do mine. So let's see how it turns out.
Or mine, as that Dream Foundation starting gate moves into position. It is post time for the featured event here at Lexington each and every fall. Starter calls. Post time for the 128th Kentucky Futurity. Sponsored by Hunterton Farms, Stoner Banner Incorporated, and Mid-Heber Terry. Worth $444,000. Full field of 12 for the Kentucky Futurity. They are on game. And they're off and trotting from the 4 outside. Beads goes spreading out. Gangster head over left from the center. EL Ideal. Also on the move there with Amigo Volo, not giving up much position yet at the inside, so the early skirmish is on. Dexter Dunn looks intent at the top early here with Amigo Volo. He has got the lead. It's Beads, though. Moves up and around for Sears. EL Ideal is out trotting in third. Gangster Hediver is caught wide at this point, fourth of his stablemate Back of the Neck. Will move through at the inside, Ready for Money. Negotiating traffic there after starting in the second tier. He's out trotting in sixth. The quarter was 27 seconds. King Alfonso is next in seventh. That is Coventry Hall, who's way in the 8th spot in front of a third shift. Chestnut Hill is next, and the two trailers are Julatrix Treasure and Patriarch Hediver. As they trot across the backstretch, Beads on top at 20-1. Beads looking to rebound here with Amigo Voldo. Still enjoying the nice trip second. EL Ideal is there third, Back of the Neck. Slides to the outside in fourth. He'll move up uncovered for Zeron. Gangster Hanover's been out every step, but he will now track his stablemate up from a fifth. As Coventry Hall tightens in down at the inside of sixth. They're past the half at a quick 54-2. Ready for Money was to the outside, but he'll quickly be forced three wide around a stalling Gangster Hanover as they trot to the top of the stretch. There's Beads, and off stride went back of the deck. So back of the deck made a break when challenging for the lead. Beads still there, but up and out of the pocket goes Amigo Volo. Top of the stretch of the Kentucky Futurity. Amigo Volo has taken over from a hard-used Beads with EL Ideal. Now picking up the chase in a third as they move into the final eighth of a mile. It is Amigo Volo with EL Ideal still giving chase. Ready for Money is a third. Far outside, that's a third shift with late trot. But close to home, Amigo Volo in the Kentucky Futurity in 151. Time for the place between EL Ideal and third shift. Chestnut Hill split horses late to be fourth. One, 3, 5, 7 on the board unofficially in the Futurity. Amigo Volo off as the third choice at 4-1. Returning trackside to the Diamond Creek Farm winner's presentation. It is the one Amigo Volo. He captures the 128th Kentucky Futurity. Nifty Dorman, the trainer, a perfect drive from Dexter Dutt here as he records his fourth major stakes win of the day aboard Amigo Volo, who's owned by the Penske Stables, Minnesota. Penske Stables take the Philly Futurity. They're back here for the Kentucky Futurity as well. Amigo Volo co-owned by the Penske Stables of Minnesota. David Miller of Lake Mary, Florida. 3-year-old gelded son of Father Patrick for the Yankee Glide mare Margarita Maba, bred by the Kentucky Anna Farms. Jorgen Yair Jr. Norway, it's his sixth of the season. He's now 12 of 24 at his career. It's a career best clocking this afternoon, 151. He's the sport's newest millionaire. Amigo Volo at the 128th Kentucky Futurity. Steve and Cindy Stewart, trackside, to make the trophy presentation on behalf of the Hunterton Farms. Stoner Manor Incorporated, Midhaber Stu Terry, the sponsors of the Kentucky Futurity. They present the trophy to the wedding connections of Amigo Volo. Kentucky Futurity hats for all of the wedding connections of both the Philly Futurity and the Kentucky Futurity, sponsored by Wiseman Farms today. Hats being given out trackside now by our Director of Sponsorships, Cindy Salverson, to the wedding connections of Amigo Volo, who loves Lexington. Big year here last fall as a 2-year-old, and he's back here in the signature event today. Dave Brower will be standing by with some winner's circle reaction coming up shortly. The results for the Kentucky Futurity were made unofficial. And the 9th race results are now official. Amigo Volo takes the Kentucky Futurity here as the third choice at 4-1. It returns $10, $5.80 and $3.60. Second at the 3 ELI deal, $9.80, $5.60. The 5 third shift third, $29. The exacta was $83. The $1 trifecta, $135 worth $651. How about the 20-cent superfecta? That has to be a track record payout there. 20-cent super worth $11,781.80, or $11,700. The 20-cent superfecta. Official rundown in for the Kentucky Futurity. Amigo Volo, the champion. Number 2, King Alfonso, 5th. 3 EI Deal, 2nd. 4 back of the deck, 12th. 5 third shift, 3rd. Number 6, Gangster Head for 10th. 7, Chestnut Hill, 4th. 8, Judah Tricks Treasure was 8th. Number 9, Patriarch Head for 9th. 10, Beads was 11th. The 11, Ready for Buddy, 6th. 12, Coventry Hall, 7th. Rechecking top down. It's 1, 5, 2, 12, 3, 10, 4, 8, 9, 11, 6, 7. Amigo Volo captures the 128th Kentucky Futurity. The champagne has been popped as connections celebrate there in the floral chair around the Kentucky Futurity wreath. Dexter's day not over yet, as he will quickly be joining Dave Brower for some winner circle reaction there and the connections. And at this time, we'll send it downstairs to Dave Brower, who's standing by with driver Dexter Dunn, who has had a huge day today.
What a beautiful sight here in the Diamond Creek Farm Winner's Circle, Gabe, as we've got the incredibly happy winning connections here. Amigo Volo has pulled off the win in the 128th Kentucky Futurity here for $444,000. Dexter, he just loves this track. He was a 2-time winner last year, and you worked out a perfect trip today.
Yeah, no, he does. He's he has performed really good here, Dave. Obviously, last year he won both weeks, and you know, he was really good here last week. He was probably just a little bit short, and Nifty knew he was going to be better today, and he was.
Well, that's typical for Nifty Norman. Explain just how good of a job he has done with this horse, because at one point he was a little bit, you know, hard to handle.
Yeah, he last year he used to shake his head bad at the grit coming back at him, and it cost him a couple of times. He's got right out of that, doing that this year, and he didn't hit his good form when he come back. As a 3-year-old, he was a bit average, and we're probably looking after him a little bit too much, and he just likes to race. You get him off the gate hard. That's when he gets excited, and he puts in good performances.
We knew you were going to try to protect the rail with a good, strong leave there, but Beads got out of there pretty good. You elected to let him go. Why did you stay in the pocket and not go back?
Well, I did actually attempt to come. I come out for a little bit when we hit the back straight, but Beads was a little bit aggressive and took off, so I dove back in the 2-hole there, and then back of the net come up outside of us around the last turn, and I was sort of 50-50 whether I'd come out or stay in, and he run. So I was probably a lucky trip there last turn, got out, but the horse did a great job.
How special is it that he went over the $1 million earnings plateau today?
Yeah, no, it's awesome, and the Pinkskis that own him, they're great people. It's, I'm sure they're going to enjoy this tonight with a few bottles of champagne, but, for nifty job he's done, and Carter and McKenna, it's he's just a nice little horse, really. Great little horse.
Speaking of the champagne, as you were sitting there in the floral chair, which is so famous on this particular day, how did you enjoy that Maillard Hambletonian brand champagne?
I think after I'm finished racing, I'm going to have some more, Dave.
Okay, all right. Dexter Dunn, unbelievable job today. Quick word on Party Girl Hill, because we didn't get to talk to you today. Just an amazing performance. Yeah,
no, it was. It's she does all the work. I'm just lucky to sit behind her. I mean, I got to drive Better's Wish and Party Girl Hill within half an hour. It was pretty lucky. So, horses do all the hard work. It's a pleasure to sit behind them.
How do you even celebrate a day like this? 3 monstrous wins with champion horses.
Champagne, probably.
Okay. Well, there you have.
I'll be hanging out tonight.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The 128th Kentucky Futurity captured with a perfect drive by Dexter Dunn. Amigo Volo, harness racing's newest millionaire.
Thanks, bud. All right.
$144,000. Full field of 12 for the Kentucky Futurity. They are on gain. And they're off and trotting from the 4 outside. Beads goes spreading out. Gangster head of her left from the center. And EL Ideal also on the move there with Amigo Volo, not giving up much position yet at the inside, so the early skirmish is on. Dexter Dunn looks into the top early here with Amigo Volo. He has got the lead. It's Beads, though. Moves up and around 4 Sears. EL Ideal is out trotting in 3rd. Gangster head of her is caught wide at this point, 4th of his stablemate back of the neck. Will move through at the inside, ready for Muddy. Negotiating traffic there after starting in the 2nd tier. He's out trotting in 6th. The quarter was 27 seconds. King Alfonso is next in 7th. That is Coventry Hall, who's way in the 8th spot in front of a 3rd shift. Chestnut Hill is next, and the 2 trailers are Julatrix Treasure and Patriarch Hanover. As they try to cross the backstretch, Beads on top at 20-1. Beads looking to rebound here with Amigo Volo. Still enjoying the nice trip 2nd. EL Ideal is there 3rd, back of the neck. Slides to the outside in 4th. He'll move up uncovered for Zeron. Gangster Hanover's been out every step, but able to track his stablemate up from a 5th. As Coventry Hall tightens in down at the inside of 6th. They're past the half at a quick 54-2. Ready for Muddy was to the outside, but he'll quickly be forced 3 wide around a stalling Gangster Hanover as they trot to the top of the stretch. There's Beads, and off stride went back of the deck. So back of the deck made a break when challenging for the lead. Beads still there, but up and out of the pocket goes Amigo Volo. Top of the stretch of the Kentucky Futurity. Amigo Volo has taken over from a hard-used Beads with EL Ideal. Now picking up the chase in a 3rd as they move into the final 1/8 of a mile. It is Amigo Volo with EL Ideal still giving chase. Ready for Muddy is a 3rd. Far outside, that's a 3rd shift with late trot. But close to home, Amigo Volo in the Kentucky Futurity in 151.
Dale Volente Farms, one of North America's premium breeding facilities. Their stallion lineup features Hambletonian champion Trixton, global pacing sensation Lazarus, and 3-time world record holder and Kentucky Futurity champion Six Pack.
In the Kentucky Futurity, he will win it 149-1, a world record for Six Pack.
Dale Volente Farms' outstanding broodmare portfolio includes 2-time pacing filly of the year, Worldly Beauty, multi-millionaire Rocklamation Dam of 2019 Pennsylvania Sire Stakes winner, Rocknificent,
field. It's Rocklamation getting up. Rocklamation, a hat trick for Gingras.
And Breeders' Crown champion Brigham Dream Dam of 2019 Swedish Sprint champion Taekwon Deo. Deo Volente Farms Premium Breeding Farm and Syndicate Management in Flemington, New Jersey.
Sugar Valley Farm in Delaware, Ohio is proud to be a part of the sport's rejuvenation in the Buckeye State, dedicated to providing the best stallions available at any price point. Lather Up, who equaled the all-time record of 146, joins world champion Down by the Seaside. 2009 Pacer of the Year, Well Said. Mr. Wiggles, sire of 2015 Horse of the Year, Wiggle It Jiggle It, and $2 million winning trotter, Creatine. For more, log on to SugarValleyFarmStallions.com.
Bow River, the leading designer of unique equestrian jewelry, presents their 2020 collection. Come view our collection under the grandstand at the Red Mile Racetrack during Grand Circuit Meet or in the foyer of the restaurant at Fazig-Tipton throughout the sale. Ask us about creating a custom design for yourself. We pride ourselves on superior craftsmanship that is unsurpassed by no one. Bow River Jewelry, quality you can trust.
Horses on the track for this afternoon's 10th race. It's the Always Be Mickey, the world champion all-rise pace winner, Mr. 146, sponsored by Always Be Mickey Syndicate, the Diamond Creek Farms. Kicks off the late pick 3. One is McFreely, Brian Brown trains. Andy Miller drives for Lawrence Litwin. Number 2 is Fox Valley Oscar. Jimmy Watson trains. Christian Linda for Jerry Blount. 8-9 will be a bit late as Dexter Dunn works his way back to the paddock there for the drive. There is 8-9. Ron Burke trains for Hinchcliffe Racing. Dexter Dunn. 4 Frontier Muffler. Martin Woodard trains. Stanley Johnson the owner. Brett Miller. Number 5 is No Quarter. Brian Brown trains for Country Club Acres. Joe Spronko, Milton Lehman, Dave Miller. Number 6 Rocket on the Sea. Sherry Chastity owns and trains with Joe Bongiorno. 7 McCam, Jack Gray Jr. trains. Tim Tetrick at the bank for Russell Hundley. And scratch 8 Velocity Ruckus. Take out the 8s. We're down to a field of 7. This closes out the pick 4, and it kicks off the final pick 3 of the season.
Okay, Gabe Pruitt, the 128th Kentucky Futurity is now history, and Amigo Volo has parlayed that perfect trip and drive into newly stamped millionaire status there. I'll tell you what, can you have a bigger day than the Pinskys and Dexter Dunn?
I don't think so. I mean, it's just incredible. Congratulations goes out to those Hawetta connections. But to Dexter, we've said it over and over, he just seems to be in the right place at the right time. And he said, you know, you got a bit lucky there. His back of the neck ran at the top of the stretch. That allowed him just to come out and coast right past. He had plenty enough down the stretch to seal the deal. So Amigo Volo goes down in the books there as a Kentucky Futurity champion.
Yes, trust me that my art Hambletonian champagne this year was flowing freely there in the floral chair and in the winner's circle. So nice to see those connections there as well. What a day they have had. So congratulations again to all of them. Penske Stables and the other David Miller from Lake Mary, Florida. Amigo Volo, a 3-year-old gelding by Father Patrick out of the Yankee Glide mare Margarita Mama, was bred by the Kentuckiana Farms and Jorgen Yare. So we've got a couple races left before we wrap up the Grand Circuit meet here. We have the Always Be Mickey, who has been sponsoring our post parades for the past couple of weeks. His syndicate and the Diamond Creek Farm sponsor this event. Take out number 8, Velocity Ruckus. I was hoping for a little bit better price on my top selection. That is the 1 McFreely, one of 2 in here for Brian Brown.
Yeah, I thought that the 5 no quarter was going to be the odds-on favorite, of course. But I'm like you, that maybe is a little short. But he was so sharp here. He's been so sharp since arriving at the Brian Brown Barn. We talked about it last week, Dave. But remember, this guy came down from Rideau Carlton. He was in a Buckeye Stallion there with us at Saudo. He finished up with a ton of pace here at a fourth-place effort. Caught my eye, and he's followed that up and been very impressive ever since. So I had this one as a bit of a jump ball as well. I did give the slight edge to the 5 no quarter, who unfortunately sustained an injury at the age of 2. He's bounced back here at the age of 3. And he comes off a lifetime best winning effort there at Hoosier Park. But I will say it was a race he was supposed to win, Dave. He was just 40 cents of the dollar, so I'm not sure how tough that field was in non-winners of 2 company. And he will have his hands full here with the stablemate there, your top selection from the inside.
Yeah, no quarter, son of some beach somewhere, bred by the Hanover Shoe Farms. We'll see if he can use that speed to best advantage. He's had some difficult posts lately, so I expect him to be aggressively handled. Now, of course, you've heard us talk about the hot hands of the day. They belong to Dexter Dunn. He's in behind number 3, Aiden Ivy here for the Burke Brigade, 4-year-old gelded son of Rock and Image. Lasix recently added, and when Dexter drove him for the first time last month, he won.
Yes, he did, and that was a narrow decision over one of our favorites, Dave. What was the runner-up in that spot? But that was a pretty soft spot. Now, keep that in mind. Numbers of 750 is the bottom level locally. But he did fire back better last time against a good group, Proof and Sugar Island. Pretty good pair there that defeated him. So Aiden Ivy has proven that he can step up, and it does seem like he's trending in the right direction for his new barn. And again, no one hotter at the bike here than Dexter does. So you don't have Aiden Ivy in a good spot. He's got some early speed if he opts to utilize it here. Up there right now at 7-1, but just not sure he's going to be able to reach up and tag the 2 favorites here in the 10th.
I don't know. Dexter's so hot, it wouldn't surprise me. Aiden Ivy, owned by the Hinchcliffe Racing Group of Columbus, Ohio. Joe Bongiorno got us home in the finale with Rockin' on the Seas last week. Remember, that keyed us a super high 5. I didn't hit it. I hope you did. He was the favorite that day, but he raced exactly the way you told me he would, and, credit for that.
Yeah, he got teed up perfectly there. By the way, I didn't have it as well, Dave, so I know that's not going to shock you to any degree. But he was a favorite. He did deliver as he was supposed to in that spot, but the trip really worked out for him. I just think it's a little deeper group overall today for Rocket Up the Seas. He loves his track in Lexington. He does very, very well here. The bigger track seems to suit him, his style of racing. But again, it is just a tough group, I think, overall for Rocket Up the Seas. He'd have to step up his game here to beat these.
Lastly, from the outside post, Tim Tetrick will be aboard McCam. He turned in a really good effort in the Buckeye Stallion Series effort up at Delaware, rallying, and you know how hard it is sometimes to rally. Kyle Ader drove that day at 7-1.
Yes, that was a big win for the duo there, Jack Gray and Russell Hundley. Great win for them there in Jug Week there with the big Buckeye Stallion score. McCam's been a solid player of that second tier Ohio Sire Stakes circuit. A similar story, though, Dave. He does just step up to take on a lot better company, I think, overall. He's hit against a pretty good crew here. So McCam wouldn't need his very best, but he likes to kick home late, and he is up there at 5-1. It's certainly in play for a moderate share this afternoon.
All right, as you expected, no quarter, the firm favorite right now at even money. One of 2 horses in here for the Brown Stable. Hall of Famer David Miller aboard. We'll see if they kick off the final pick 3 with a winning favorite.
Dream Foundation starting gate will begin to position. It's post time for this afternoon's 10th race. Kicks off the final pick 3 of the season here at the Red Mile. Starter calls. It's the Always Be Mickey world champion. Stands at the Diamond Creek Farm of Pennsylvania. Enjoying his first crop, which includes a couple of stakes winners here this week, including the undefeated Perfect Sting. Southwind Gendry as well. Field of 7. Lined up to kick off the late pick 3. They are on game. And they're off. There goes No Quarter, who steps out quickly from the center of the track. McFreely, a stablemate. We'll move on through down at the inside. Also McCam on the move there as they work into the Tattersall's turn. Aiden Ive will dive in the 4th spot. In front of Fox Valley Oscar. Frontier Muffler is next, and Rocket on the Seas takes back to last. Around the opening turn, McCam is up to grab the track here from No Quarter. The big favorite, No Quarter, with the give and go. He's right back around for the retake for Miller. The quarter moderator, just 28-4 is No Quarter. Takes back over from McCam. McFreely is there in a 3rd. He's currently 6 lengths in behind his stablemate. 2 clear of Aiden Ivy. Fox Valley Oscar follows in a 4th and for the long shot Frontier Muffler. And Rocket on the Seas will have to do it from last. He's double digits off the lead. Across the backstretch at a 2-5, it's No Quarter. Continues to show the away. A nice trip second for McCam. The race past the half in 55-4, so the pace quick in there in the second quarter. 27 seconds flat. No Quarter continues uncontested, so the favorite getting plenty of respect here as McCam continues to track down at the inside second. Now McFreely will swing to the outside 3rd with 3/8 to pace. Aiden Ivy tightens it at the 4th spot in front of a struggling Fox Valley Oscar. Rocket on the Seas head away from the back past Frontier Muffler. They race to the top of the stretch. No Quarter still the target through 3 quarters. 123-3. McCam tightens back in second. McFreely is driven out down the center of the track in 3rd. Aiden Ivy is 4th. They move into the final 16th of a mile, and it's No Quarter who still maintaining a 2-length margin from McCam. McFreely's down the center 3rd. Aiden Ivy dead at the inside, but it's still No Quarter shows away in deep stretch. No Quarter's wrapped up here at the finish. No Quarter will win it. McCam was 2nd, Aiden Ivy 3rd, McFreely 4th, and 150-4. Judges have posted the 5 No Quarter. Unofficially first in the 10th, second to the 7 McCam. 3 Aiden Ivy 3rd, number 1 McFreely 4th, 5-7-3-1 unofficial the 10th. No quarter returns trackside for the Diamond Creek Farm winners presentation. Brian Brown, the treader. Dave Miller aboard for the wedding effort. Dave, of course, the pilot of Always Be Mickey. He captures the Always Be Mickey here aboard No Quarter, who's owned by Country Club Acres, Findlay, Ohio. Joe Sprocco of Brecksville, Ohio, and Milton Liebert of Columbus. Back-to-back for No Quarter. 3-year-old Bay Colt. He's by some beach somewhere from the well-said mare Take That Hanover. 150 and 4. No Quarter bred by the Hanover Shoe Farms of Pennsylvania. His 4th career tally. Sean Linguati trackside of the Diamond Creek Farm to present the trophy of the Always Be Mickey on behalf of the Always Be Mickey Syndicate and Diamond Creek. Your 10th race results are official. No Quarter the favorite, 280, 210, and 210. Second to the 7 McCam, $380, $4. 389 third, $7. The exacta, $10.40. The $1 trifecta, $24.60. Pick 4 buck here on closing day, worth $476.30. 20-cent superfecta, $13.24. Pick 3, $2 pick 3, $662.80. Official rundowns for the 10th race. McFreely 4th. Number 2, Fox Valley Oscar 7th. 3-8-9 3rd. Number 4, Frontier Muffler 6th. 5 No Quarter the race winner. 6 Rocket on the Seas 5th. 7 McCam 2nd. 8 Velocity Ruckus scratched. Rechecking gets 4-7-3. 6-1-5. 2 with a scratch on the bottom. No Quarter at 150 and 4. Final stakes event of the season is up next here as we get set to kick off the late double with the upcoming 11th race. It's the hardest racing update, All Rise Open Mare Pace. Field of 7, there are no changes. The only change on the back half of the double comes in race 12. Scratch the 2 Velocity Ian. Take out the 2 Velocity Ian in the finale. The upcoming 11th race in 9 minutes. Defeated Perfect Sting. Southwind Gendry as well. Field of 7. Lined up to kick off the late pick 3. They are on gain. And they're off. There goes No Quarter, who steps out quickly from the center of the track. McFreely, a stablemate. We'll move on through down at the inside. Also McCam on the move there as they work into the Tattersall's turn. 8-9 will dive in the 4th spot. In front of Fox Valley Oscar. Frontier Muffler is next, and Rocket on the Seas takes back to a last. Around the opening turn, McCam is up to grab the track here from No Quarter. The big favorite, No Quarter, with the give and go. He's right back around for the retake for Miller. The quarter moderator, just 28 and 4 is No Quarter. Takes back over from McCam. McFreely is there in a 3rd. He's currently 6 lengths in behind his stablemate. 2 clear of 8-9. Fox Valley Oscar follows in a 4th and for the long shot Frontier Muffler. And Rocket on the Seas will have to do it from last. He's double digits off the lead. Across the backstretch at 2-5, it's No Quarter. Continues to show the way. A nice trip second for McCam. The race past the half in 55 and 4, so the pace quick in there in the 2nd quarter. 27 seconds flat. No Quarter continues uncontested, so the favorite getting plenty of respect here as McCam continues to track down at the inside 2nd. Now McFreely will swing to the outside 3rd with 3/8 to pace. Aiden Ivy tightens it at the 4th spot in front of a struggling Fox Valley Oscar. Rocket on the Seas underway from the back past Frontier Muffler. They race to the top of the stretch. No Quarter still the target through 3 quarters. 123 and 3. McCam tightens back in 2nd. McFreely is driven out down the center of the track in 3rd. Aiden Ivy is 4th. They move into the final 16th of a mile, and it's No Quarter who's still maintaining a 2-length margin from McCam. McFreely's down the center 3rd. Aiden Ivy dead at the inside, but it's still No Quarter shows away in deep stretch. No Quarter's wrapped up here at the finish. No Quarter will win it.
Our passion and our promise to breed the best and sell the best so you can race the best. Crawford Farms, home to this year's 2020 Hamiltonian Filly champion Ramona Hill.
Andrew McCarthy finds today. Ramona Hill takes the Hamiltonian.
And over 100 more stakes-winning broodmares, racehorses, and retirees. They call it the sport of kings. We call it the love of champions. From our farm to the winner's circle, share our passion. Crawford Farms.
Alaraj Farms for more than 2 decades. Alaraj Farms has been a leading breeder of stakes-winning trotters with prestige settings in New York and Pennsylvania. Alaraj Farms is the home to champion broodmares producing millionaires like Fern, Muscles Marinara, Dewey Color in the Line, and Whiskey Tax. Stars like Barndall, Jezzy, an opulent Yankee, and $480,000 sales topper Beautiful Sin. Yearlings offered at the sport's major auctions. Alaraj Farms, a trendsetter in modern trotting. For more info, log on to alarajfarm.com.
Hickory Lane Horse Farm is the proud home of some of the Buckeye State's most popular stallions, like Dan Patch Champion, What the Hill, Breeders' Crown winner, Racing Hill, World Champion Trotter, Uncle Peter, and our recently retired elder statesman, McArdle. Be sure to visit our website, hickorylanefarm.com.
Pacing mares stepping on the track for the 11th race. It's the All-Raj Open Pace. Sponsored by Hardus, a racing update to kick off the late double final stake of the season here in Lexington. Purse of $72,000. What is Stonebridge Soul? Chris Ryder trains. Brett Miller drives. For the Henderson Farms and Robert Bandillo. 2 is Treacherous Rain. Tony Alanya trains for Alanya Racing. Big Al Stables. The Let It Ride Stables and Bottom Line Racing. Dave Miller. 3 is Warwee Butte. Ron Burke trains for the Burke Racing Stable. Crawford Farms Racing. Jerry and Teresa Silva, Perdell Libby, Phil Cadore, Yadik Jingra drives. The 4 is Sea Swift Joy. Tony Alanya trains. Todd McCarthy in the bike for Brad Grant. Number 5, Kiss It in the Sand. Nancy Tactor trains. Dexter Dunn drives for Marvin Katz, the Hatfield Stables. 6, Caviar Alley. Brett Peddling trains. Andy McCarthy up for the Caviar Farms. And number 7 is Tall Drink Hadiver. Tony Alanya trains for Alanya Racing. Marvin Katz. Myron and Stephanie Bell's Riverview Racing. Tim Tietrich is at the controls. That's your field for the 11th race. No changes. Kicks off the late double. Only change the back half of the double. Scratch 2, Velocity Ian in race 12.
Thank you, Gabe Pruitt. On the track here for the final stakes event of this Sunday afternoon Kentucky Futurity Day card. It is the Alaraj Distaff Filly and Mare Open Pace here for a purse of $72,000. I wanted to start our discussion, sponsored by the Harness Racing Update, too. Dave Briggs and the guys who put out such a wonderful publication. Make sure you check that out tomorrow morning to recap all of today's stakes winners. On the inside, Gabe, number 2, Treacherous Rain. She was a Grand Circuit Stakes winner here last year. She's been, getting checks lately, but, not a whole lot of wins.
Yeah, that seems to be the problem there, Dave, but very good, as you said, consistently close. And that could mean a simpler time finish here this afternoon. Enjoyed a very nice 3-year-old campaign as well.
It's been an up-and-down 4-year-old season for Warwee U Butte. She was such a tremendous champion, almost earning $1 million last year at 3. But you spoke earlier, I want you to say it again, just how difficult it is to make the transition from 3-year-old stake star to 4-year-old open-type pacer.
Well, it's the toughest transition in the sport of harness racing. There's no question about that. Some handle it better than others, and it takes sometimes a season or two for others. But Warwee Butte, again, when you're tackling the type of company here at the top level with Kissing in the Sand, you've got Chardon and all the rest, Caviar Alley, of course, that you have to face week in, week out. That is just not an easy assignment. But Warwee Butte has picked up a couple of nice victories against some stakes company. This season, she loves the track in Lexington. I believe she's obviously she won at the age of 2, Dave, in that world record fashion, and a 48 and 3, so the fastest female of all time at the age of 2 in the sport. And last season as well. So Warwee Butte, she likes a track here. We've talked about several horses for the course. Amigo Volo is one of those that captured the Kentucky Futurity a bit earlier. So Warwee Butte could step things back up here on a return to the red clay as well.
The big favorite right now is number 5, Kissing in the Sand, and she's a horse that likes the clay surface here at the Red Mile. She established her lifetime mark a couple of years ago at age 3 with a 147 and 4 clocking, but I'll tell you what, Nancy Tactor has one of her favorite horses so sharp right now, she's going to be very tough to beat today.
Yeah, she is very sharp. The barn's having a huge day here on closing day. Kissing in the Sand, she's a perfect example of what we just discussed, Dave, that she made a lot of money as a youngster at 2 and 3. Then she made that tough transition last season at the age of 4, and she earned over $172,000. Put together a solid campaign, but look at that at the age of 5. With that year of experience under her belt against some of the top free-for-all mares, she's really elevated her game back up. She's got less than half the starts this year, but already well over the earnings, $221,000. So she's a mare that has really stepped up here at the age of 5. 1 to 2, I'm just not sure that I'm buying at that short of a price. Yes, she did race extremely well to win that Dayton Distaff, but she was teed up perfectly. Sometimes, Dave, I like to take a shot against horses when they went off perfect trips. I think that was the case last time with Kissing in the Sand. Not that she needed one, as she's been very sharp, but again, just an awfully short price here if you back the favorite, Kissing in the Sand.
Her win in the Milton up at Woodbine at Mohawk Park was just an absolute brush and crush for Jody Jamieson. But the fact that she came right back and paced in 49 on a a smaller size track just tells me that she's in razor sharp form for Marvin Katz in the Hatfield stable. Now, my pick, a little bit of an upset pick. You can't have every favorite in every race. You and I know that. Last year, this week is when Caviar Alley started her good streak throughout the rest of the stakes season. She loves the surface here as well at the Red Mile. And when I talked to trainer Brett Pelling the other day in the winner's circle, I asked him about Caviar Alley. Will she wake back up here? And he thinks so. He said that is the plan.
I agree. She's my top pick here as well because I'm like you. You just don't want to land on every single short price favorite. You got to take a couple of chances to beat them, and 7 to 2 on Caviar Alley sounds about right. I think she's had some alibis of late, Dave. She missed a little time there prior to her Milton elimination. She just missed. Then she came back in the final from a second-tier post-10. That is never an easy assignment. The trip just didn't work out all that well for her, but she still was able to salvage third there for sprinting home quickly. Last time there at Dayton, she was forced first up. We know that's not an easy assignment. So I thought she raced pretty well there to hang in for third. So I thought she had a couple of alibis for those last couple of trips. I could expect her to bounce back, particularly if she got the best of the trips here today. I think she could pull off a minor upset, as you mentioned, a winner in this event last season.
The Alanya Armada have 3 of the mares in here, and on your screen right now is Tim Tetrick, the Bionic Man with Tall Drink Hanover. And if she were to jump up and win today, Gabe, it certainly wouldn't be her first big upset over fields like this.
No, it would not. You always have to keep Tall Drink Hanover in mind. She had a very nice sophomore campaign, won half of her starts, nearly $500,000, 30-1. That is a huge price. She took an aggressive shot there in her Milton elimination. That trip just took its toll a bit late. She's missed some time here. She's had some time to freshen up, in fact. Arrives back here in Lexington. Tall Drink Hanover could be a live long shot to throw in, though, in the exotics.
All right, Caviar Alley will try to defend her title. She won the Alarage last year in 148-3 with that epic stretch battle with Sharton. So we'll see how she does if she bounces back. The Alarage Farms Filly and Mare Distaff Open, $72,000 coming up next. My final chance to visit the winning connections afterwards in the Diamond Creek Farm Winner's Circle.
Dream Foundation starting gate moving into position. It's post time. This afternoon's 11th race. Starter call. It's the hardest racing update. All rise. Open mare pace. Hardest racing update. One of the leading news sites out there. Great job to the entire crew there. Dave Briggs and an all-star cast. Check out hardestracingupdate.com. Subscribe today. All rise open mares. Lined up, purse of $72,000. A field of 7 they are on game. And they're off and pacing. A nice start with the host of early speedsters. Warwee Butte left the gate quickly with Treacherous Rain. Out to Bourbon inside, Caviar Alley also came out swinging there, and she will move out up for McCarthy here in the early stages. So it is Caviar Alley who takes over the lead from Warwee Butte. Kissing in the Sand is floating wide there, and she continues to press on for it. Done. As Treacherous Rain was out racing in the 4th spot in front of Stonebridge Soul. It's a break of 2 lengths to C Swift Joy. At the back, Tall Drink Hanover. The quarter was 27-2, and it's the favored Kiss It in the Sand at 1-5, who will take over the lead from Caviar Alley. Warwee Butte tracking the top pair 3rd with Treacherous Rain. Still mid-pack in the 4th spot. Stonebridge Sold out at the inside of 5th in front of C Swift Joy. At the back, Tall Drink Hanover. No change in position as Kiss It in the Sand continues to call the shots as she races past the half-mile mark in 54-4. An identical 27-2 second quarter clip. As Kiss It in the Sand continues to shoulder the load out of the far turn. A nice trip second for Caviar Alley. Warwee Butte is right there 3rd. She's just 2 lengths off the top with 3/8 to pace. Treacherous Rain continues to ride at the inside of 4th with Tall Drink Hanover moving up uncovered. She's 5th next door to Stonebridge Soul. And at the back now, C Swift Joy. They race at the top of the stretch. Kiss It in the Sand looking to slam the door. She's throttled out to a 3-length lead, and she's off 3/4, 121-3. Caviar Alley tries to tighten back in 2nd. Warwee Butte is down the center of the track in 3rd. Treacherous Rain swings 3 wide there in the 4th spot, but it's all Kiss It in the Sand at mid-stretch, and Kiss It in the Sand has romped here in the All-Rise Open pace. Kiss It in the Sand coasting home. Kiss It in the Sand will win it decisively in 148. Treacherous Rain up for 2nd. Caviar Alley 3rd. Warwee Butte was 4th. 5-2-6-3 at official race 11. Turning track side for the Diamond Creek Farm Letters presentation. He is number 5, Kiss It in the Sand. Track record performance here this afternoon, 148 flat for an older pacing mare. Nancy Tactor, the trader, she picks up her 4th win here on closing day. Who else but Dexter Dunn in the bike? His 5th win of the afternoon. Kiss It in the Sand. Owned by Marvin Katz, Toronto, Ontario, the Hatfield Stables of Columbus. It is her 4th consecutive victory. Kiss It in the Sand, a 5-year-old daughter, Some Beach Somewhere, from the Real Artist mare Kiss Me Kate, bred by Christina Tactor of New Jersey. Fielding an RAW Equine. Of Ontario, Kiss It in the Sand. 5th of the season, 24th overall. A track record performance here, 148. To capture the All-Raj Open Pace, sponsored by Hardest Racing Update. Greeting the Wedding Connections trackside to make the trophy presentation. Mark Hall, presenting on behalf of Hardest Racing Update. Your price is up to the 11th race. Big favorite Kissing in the Sand, 260, 210, and 210. Second of the 2, Treacherous Rain, 440, 240. Third of the 6, Caviar Alley, 220. Exact $8.20. $1 trifecta, $6.80. 20-cent superfecta, $4.04. Official rundowns of the 11th. Stonebridge Soul 5th. Treacherous Rain 2nd. 3, Warway U Butte was 4th. Sea Swift Joy finished 6th. 5, Kissing in the Sand, the winner. 6, Caviar Alley 3rd. Number 7, Tall Drink Cadaver 7th. Rechecking, it's 5-2-4-6-1-3 with 7 on the bottom. Track record style here. Kiss It in the Sand. Nancy Tactor, 4 winners on the afternoon. She is standing by trackside with Dave Brower.
Gabe Pruitt, she has been in the Diamond Creek Farm Winner's Circle a couple of times today. Always nice to talk to Nancy Tactor, but I'll tell you what, I always ask you the same question. When it comes to Kissing in the Sand, you have such a special place in your heart for this mare.
Yeah, she's probably my favorite, like, ever. Out of all the horses I've ever been associated with.
Now, she likes this track, too, because she took her lifetime mark originally a couple of years ago here. What is it about the clay strip here that she seems to get so sharp?
You know, I don't really know what it is. I think she likes the stretch, and I mean, obviously it's a forgiving track. You know, it's nice for the horses to come down here as opposed to racing on some of the stone dust tracks that are a little bit harder. So, I mean, she's raced. She won both stakes here as a 2-year-old. She won them at 3, and I mean, she's just a great mare.
Gabe and I, in our pre-race analysis and on the pregame show, we were talking about how difficult it is to make the transition from 3-year-old stake star to 4-year-old distaff pacer. She only had 2 wins last year, but you navigated her through that season. Getting ready for this year?
You know, the thing with her a little bit is she suffers from really bad allergies, so she has a little bit of trouble in the middle of the summer when it gets really hot out. So I think that was part of her transitional problems that she had last year, because she started off her qualifiers really good, and once I took her to Canada, it kind of turned around with a little bit of the colder weather up there. But this year it was a little bit of the similar thing. She came out and was great. She won in 47 and 4 or something right off the bat, and she was really good. And then, you know, when the summer came along, she kind of tailed off a little bit. But, you know, now with the colder weather, she's kind of more geared up and ready to go again.
You had to scratch her out of the Roses for Red. Was that also part of the allergy problem?
Yeah, I mean, she just wasn't really right. And, you know, to ship her all the way to Canada and everything, it just didn't seem like the right thing and the fair thing to do with her. So we brought her down to Lexington, and I qualified her down here. And I actually didn't really know what I was really going to do with her. I was kind of, you know, toying with the idea of racing her in an open at Dayton. And then, you know, Dexter qualified her, and he said she was really, really good in the qualifier. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to give it a shot, ship her up for the Milton, and she got the job done.
She was awesome that night for Jody Jameson. How happy was he to get the phone call for you that you were going to put him down on her?
Well, actually, I didn't even call Jody. I just kind of listed him, so I think he was pretty happy about it. But he did a good job with her up there, and, you know, she's kind of got the ball rolling now, so hopefully she can get it done in the Breeders' Crown, because that's like the one thing that's missing from her resume.
Anything else after the Breeders' Crown for the rest of her stake schedule?
Well, she has the TVG, so, you know, we'll probably take her to the TVG, and then she'll probably go get bred to Tall Dark Stranger.
Oh, wow, that's an incredible combination there. We look forward to that. Hey, Nancy Takter, congratulations on another tremendous Grand Circuit meet, and the win here with Kissin' in the Sand, 148 flat, adding to her $1.5 million bankroll.
Pretty good. Thank you.
Kissing in the Sand is floating wide there. Done. It's Treacherous Rain was out racing in the fourth spot in front of Stonebridge Soul. It's a break of 2 lengths to Sea Swift Joy. At the back, Tall Drink ahead of her. The quarter was 27 and 2, and it's the favorite Kiss It in the Sand at 1-5, who will take up the lead from Caviar Alley. Warwee Butte tracking the top pair third with Treacherous Rain. Still mid-pack in the fourth spot. Stonebridge Sold out at the inside of fifth in front of Sea Swift Joy. At the back, Tall Drink Hanover. No change in position as Kiss It in the Sand continues to call the shots as she races past the half-mile mark in 54 and 4. An identical 27 and 2 second quarter clip. As Kiss It in the Sand continues to shoulder the load out of the far turn. A nice trip second for Caviar Alley. Warwee Butte is right there third. She's just 2 lengths off the top with 3/8 to pace. Treacherous Rain continues to ride at the inside of fourth with Tall Drink Hanover moving up uncovered. She's fifth next door to Stonebridge Soul. And at the back now, Sea Swift Joy. They race at the top of the stretch. Kiss It in the Sand looking to slam the door. She's throttled out to a 3-length lead, and she's off 3/4, 121 and 3. Caviar Alley tries to tighten back in second. Warwee Butte is down the center of the track in third. Treacherous Rain swings 3 wide there in the fourth spot, but it's all Kiss It in the Sand at mid-stretch, and Kiss It in the Sand has romped here in the All-Raj Open pace. Kiss It in the Sand coasting home. Kiss It in the Sand will win it decisively in 148. Pacers on the track for the Drop the Ball to close out Grand Circuit action in Lexington for 2020. Sponsored by Best Bet Stables. The What is Paula's Bet ahead of her. Ron Burke trains out of Jingra drives for Christopher Nickel. 2 is out. Number 3 is Derby Lady. Earl Avenatti Jr. trains, and he co-owns with Lisa Avenatti, Scott Ziron. 4 is Fox Valley Sampson. Irv Miller trains for the Irv Miller stable. Lewis Willinger, the Henshot stable. And Anthony Yoder, Andy Miller. 5 is Rock Idol. Marta Sheehan trains for Karen Sheehan, Amanda Stevens and Janie Hardley, Andy McCarthy. Number 6, Panthers Pino. Tony Galagna trains for the Empty Pocket Stables and Vicky Howard, Joe Bongiorno. 7 is Gimme Sunshine. Don Brock trains for Mary Brock, Christian Lind. The 8 is Dune with Class. Jimmy Watson trains. Todd McCarthy drives for Trendlin Harris Sr. and Walter Michael Miller. And Bernard, as always, be cool. John Ackley trains for the CT Stables LLC with Dave Miller. That's the field for the 12th race. Scratch 2 Velocity in. Once again, take out the 20-cent super high five wager on the finale and a mandatory payout here in the final race of the season.
All right, Gabe Pruitt, thanks so very much. Hey, I just want to say how much fun it's been to broadcast these 2 weeks of Grand Circuit races with you. Always a tremendous partnership that you and I have. Big thanks out to track president Joe Costa, Shannon Cobb, and, of course, the one and only George Siegel, who is responsible for having me out here for this 2 weeks. Hopefully we kept everybody entertained. We gave out a couple of winners and hopefully released some solid information as well.
Yeah, Dave, it's been great to work with you once again. Always a bittersweet day, our biggest day of the meet here, but it is closing day. We've looked forward to Kentucky Futurity Day since last year, so it's been great. We've been blessed with some nice weather. We're able to have fans here on track for the Grand Circuit, so given all the conditions and restrictions going on at this day and age, it's been a great meet, a great season, and always enjoy working with you, and this year, no different.
Thank you very much, partner. Again, I think the highlight of the meet was at least having fans here today and throughout the 2 weeks to enjoy these incredibly, championship performances. So, with that said, we've got one race left here before we drop the ball, I guess is the right way to say it, on the Grand Circuit meet here. It's a non-winners of one maiden event. Take out the 2 Velocity Ian for Mark Evers. And you and I both on the favorite here. It's rare for us to pick a 2-year-old filly taking on some older male rivals, but you and I both felt we had to do it. First time for the Burke Brigade will be Paula's Bet Hanover.
Yeah, it's sort of a mixed bag here in this final race of the meet. Non-winners of one, bears 2 there, and you do get the barn change, as you said, and this filly has proven she's daughter of betting line. She's proven she's got some major stakes credentials. I mean, she missed just a neck there in the She's a Great Lady up at Woodbine at Mohawk Park, and drops all the way to non-winners of one company locally. So even though she is a 2-year-old facing some older ones, we know that this filly's got some talent. She's got a lot of upside potential, and I think that she is well spotted here to pick up the second win of her career today.
It's been a good day for driver Andy Miller. Of course, he upset the apple cart in the Philly Futurity with Love a Good Story. He will drive Fox Valley Sampson here, number 4, for his brother Irv. A little bit of an in-and-outer recently on Lasix. Can we reproduce that effort back at Hoosier Park?
Well, that's a big question. Good day for Andy as well. He was a runner-up in the Futurity as well. So Fox Valley Sampson goes for his brother Irv, and the closing style should suit Fox Valley Sampson here over the red clay. We'll see. He's had trouble keeping his mind on business. Breaks in 2 out of his last 3. That concerned me into today, Dave, particularly when you know he's going to play as a fairly short price. He could ultimately end up as a second choice there. So if you're trying to create some value here and beyond a short price favorite, I decided to take a stand against Fox Valley Sampson. But obviously, if he was at his best, he could certainly be right there.
Coming out of the winner's circle with Kissin' in the Sand, driver Dexter Dunn saw track photographer Amanda Stevens, and she came up with the line of the day. She looked at him and said, "Please don't win the next race. My horse is in it."
That's good, great advice there. Yeah, the Rock Otto is her horse. Of course, she is a co-owner, and Rock Otto is just crushed here against the Condition Claiming Company. And his local debut, that was a barn change over to trainer Marta Sheehan for the first time. 53 and change. It was all about the company. Pretty soft spot there, but Rock Otto looked very good doing it. So the set of rocket image here at his second try for the new barn. He's up there well supported as well, right down 6-1.
The 6 is Panthers Pinot for Joe Bongiorno here. A little too hot on the muscle in that Red Mile debut last time. This has been a work in progress since trainer Tony Alagna took back over. And a quick shout out to co-owner Victoria Howard down there in Florida. We know she's watching.
Oh, yeah. She will join us on occasion at the pomp as well of the course of the meet. Panthers Pinot, we liked him last time, Dave, or at least I did, I know, and that was his debut here as a sophomore. He raced a bit green, and he was hot on the front. He drifted out there in the 3 and 4 path at times, just a project horse, but we know he's got speed. The connection's obviously still working to figure him out.
Last race, super high 5 behind the gate and rolling, so we send it back up to the top of the stands to Mr. Gabe Pruitt.
Thanks a lot, Dave, and again, great working with you and all the crew here in Lexington for another Year of Grand Circuit Racing. It is post time at the Fidelity. Starter call. Race 12, named after Drop the Ball, world champion mare, daughter of Western Tier, under $1.4 million. Now part of the Broodmare Band. Field of 8 for the Super High 5. They are on gain. And they're off, doing with class. We'll take an early shot from the outside. Center of the track, Rock Idol left out. Fox Valley Samson also on the move there as they work their way to the Tattersall's turn. And up top, Dune with class. Looking to bounce sprint, Rock Idol. Fox Valley Samson's out giving chase at third. Paula's bet ahead of her is in the fourth spot off stride of that opening turn. Racing very erratic was Panthers Pito. He drifted wide for Bonjordo. And up top, Rock Idol will resume command from Dune with class past the quarter, 28 into 3. Fox Valley Samson is at third. Paula's a bet ahead of her. Giving chase him in the eye in the top trio, fourth. 2 clear of Derby Lady. It's an additional 3-length break to Gimme Sunshine. Always Be Cool tracks in the 7th spot. And after the rough beginning, Panthers Pito is last, but he has caught the top flight. As the work up towards the half-mile mark, it's Rock Idol looking to do a double up and go back-to-back. Dune with class. Tracking closely second, the half up in 56 and 1, 27 into 3 in the second quarter as Rock Idol continues to pave the way out of the far turn. The long shot, Dune with class. Well spotted, the McCarthy brothers 1-2 with 3/8 to pace. Fox Valley Samson there in third. Now the favorite Paula's bet ahead of her. She begins to unwind on the outside for Jingra. It's 3 lengths further back to Derby Lady. 5 more to Gimme Sunshine rather as they race to the top of the stretch. Rock Idol under pressure now from the favorite Paula's bet ahead of her. Rough around the turn was Fox Valley Samson. They're off 3 quarters, 124-1. Top of the stretch in the Fidelity. Rock Idol, that inside advantage. Paula's bet ahead of her is drifting wide there. The favorite tries to take over. Fox Valley Samson suddenly back on for more. A wild finish to the meet here. Fox Valley Samson moves up in between horses. Paula's bet ahead of her continues to drift wide. It's Fox Valley Samson. Somehow he came back to what it. It's tight for the place spot. It was either Rock Idol at the inside or Paula's bet ahead of her. Dune with class 4th. Derby Lady was 5th, 152 and 3. Fancy judges have lit the inquiry. It concerns the unofficial first place finisher Fox Valley Samson. Possible violation of the braking rule at the top of the stretch. Hold all tickets at the 12th race. Get the inquiry concerns the unofficial first place finisher Fox Valley Samson. Once again, inquiry does concern the first place finisher, Fox Valley Samson. But Fidel, he will return trackside for the Diamond Creek Farm Winners presentation. Irv Miller, his trader. Andy Miller picks up his second of the day. Fox Valley Samson, owned by the Irv Miller Stable, Pennsylvania. Lewis Willinger of Louisville, Kentucky. Hinshot Stable of Indiana. And Yoder also of Indiana. Fox Valley Samson, again, unofficially first years. That inquiry continues. Judges taking a look at the action at the top of the stretch. If it stands, Fox Valley Samson, a 2-year-old gutted set of J.K. Innovatera. For the Ford Apache Hanover mare, L.R. Dancing Dream. He was bred in Illinois by the Fox Valley Standardbreds, and if it stands, it will be the first win of his career. 152-3. Hold on tickets to the 12th race. The inquiry continues. Pay your attention, please. The judges have determined no reason for placing. The results will stand as posted. 4-5-1-8-3 for the Super High Five. Twelfth race, prices up now. Fox Valley Samson, 20-40, 14-80, 340. Second of the 5, Rock Idol, 860, 260. Third of the 1, Paula's Bet Hediford, 210. The exacta combination of 4-5, $106.60. Toss on the favorite third, the $1 trifecta worth $102 and a dime. Late double for a deuce, $29.60. The late pick 3 was $59.60. 20-cent Super High Five. At the finale, 20-cent ticket, $1,009.56. Official run-ins for the 12th race. Paula's Bet out of her third. Number 2, Velocity again scratched. 3, Derby Lady 5th. Number 4, Fox Valley Samson the winner. 5, Rock Idol 2nd. Number 6, Panthers Pedo 6th. 7, Gibby Sunshine 8th. 8, Dune with Class 4th. And number 9, Always Be Cool was 7th. Rechecking top down, 3, Scratch 5. 1, 2, 6, 8, 4 with 7 on the bottom. Fox Valley Samson closes out the day. His first career win, 152-3. Once again, fans, that's going to wrap up live racing action for the season here in Lexington. Be back in the summer of 2021. We appreciate all of your support all summer long and into the Grand Circuit racing as well. On behalf of Dave Brower, I've been your track announcer, Gabe Pruitt. On behalf of all of us here at the Red Mile, including our track president, Joe Costa, thanks so much for joining us here this season, and we'll see you back next year. Enjoy the remainder of your Sunday evening. Good night, everyone. Now part of the Broodmare Band. Field of 8 for the Super High Five. They are on gain. And they're off, doing with class. We'll take an early shot from the outside. Center of the track, Rock Idol left out. Fox Valley Samson also on the move there as they work their way to the Tattersall's turn. And up top, Dune with class. Looking about sprint, Rock Idol. Fox Valley Samson's out giving chase at third. Paula's Bet Hanover is in the 4th spot off stride of that opening turn. Racing very erratic was Panthers Pedo. He drifted wide for Bonjordo. And up top, Rock Idol will resume command from Dune with class past the quarter, 28-3. Fox Valley Samson is at third. Paula's Bet Hanover giving chase him in the eye in the top trio, 4th. 2 clear of Derby Lady. It's an additional 3-link break to Gibby Sunshine. Always Be Cool tracks in the 7th spot, and after the rough beginning, Panthers Pedo is last, but he has caught the top flight. As the work up towards the half-mile mark, it's Rock Idol looking to do a double up and go back-to-back. Dune with class. Tracking closely second, the half up in 56-1, 27-3 in the second quarter as Rock Idol continues to pave the way out of the far turn. The long shot, Dune with class. Well spotted, the McCarthy brothers 1-2 at 3/8 to pace. Fox Valley Samson there in third. Now the favorite, Paula's Bet Hanover. She begins to unwind on the outside for Jingrod's 3 lengths further back to Derby Lady. 5 more to Gibby Sunshine, rather, as they race to the top of the stretch. Rock Idol under pressure now from the the favorite, Paula's bet ahead of her. Rough around the turn was Fox Valley Samson. They're off 3/4, 124-1. Top of the stretch in the finale, Rock Idol. That inside advantage, Paula's bet ahead of her is drifting wide there. The favorite tries to take over. Fox Valley Samson suddenly back on for more. A wild finish to the meet here. Fox Valley Samson moves up in between horses. Paula's bet ahead of her continues to drift wide. It's Fox Valley Samson. Somehow he came back to win it.